Morning. We're all here, it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah. I am sharing the flat. So
Sim has equally as much energy as Griff does. Let's see. So let's do intentions, distractions, and for intro question, who plays Vitalik in a movie? That would be a fun one. Okay, just kind of piggybacking off of last week's. Okay, so intentions for this call, make sure we're all on the same page. See what I can do to help out. See what is left until we officially launch. Distractions, I totally goofed. I just got back last night from a trip to LA, but I left my keys at a hotel. So I came back to my house and realized I couldn't get in. So I just literally 20 minutes ago got inside my house. Anyway, and who should play Metallica in a movie? I think something really offbeat. No, this is not too offbeat actually. Rami Malek would be a really, really good Metallic. And I will pass it to Nuggin.
I was thinking the exact same. So you just stole it from I have no idea. Like I can think of anybody else. Like, yeah, I don't know. You took the only idea I had.
Okay, that's fun. I guess maybe this is an easier choice than I expected.
And yeah, well, intentions sync up and see everything's going. And distractions, I just had a param party and I'm kind of thinking how to modify my param and do a new proposal, so that's a bit distracting, but everything's fine. I'll pass to Chewy.
Thanks again. Intentions, just catching up. Distractions, I rearranged furniture, as you might have noticed, so my background is a little bit different. And also, I just came back from, I took some days off towards the end of last week because of some health problems. So now everything is better, but I'm catching up with a bunch of stuff, so I'll be a little bit distracted during the call. And for today's question, I like Vitalik's character for something that could be like a full transformation. So I don't know if someone here watched the Golden Globe or something like this. It was a German film, and the transformation from that actor was amazing. So I'm actually thinking of like a Tom Holland or Timothy Chalamet or something, but they would need to like spend 8 hours per day in makeup, like something like that. I think that would be crazy. But yeah, really looking forward to that film, actually. I'll pass it to Griff.
That made me think of a second person, but okay, so I'm gonna start with that. So the transformation thing made me think of Christian Bale on The Machinist. I don't know if you ever saw The Machinist. Like it's Batman, but then he gets like thin as fuck for The Machinist, and it's almost scary. So I think he could pull that off. But I was originally thinking the guy from Road Trip. I don't know. He's like a character in Road Trip. What's his name? It's DJ Qualls. He's kind of a skinny nerdy guy in the movie Road Trip. But my intentions for the call are to just see where we're at, check on the opening bonding curve issue, and share in more details what went wrong, and also the conviction voting stuff that we're looking at for Giveth. Just bringing that to light and seeing how much it matters, or what if it affects TC, or where we go from there. And as far as distractions, none. Other than like, oh man, Giveth launch is coming up really soon, and I'm pushing really hard. So I'll probably, occasionally be looking at all my chats of developers being like, "What's this mean?" and that kind of thing. And I'll pass it to Paulo.
Thanks, Griff. I was thinking about DJ Qualls as well. I think he will be a great Vitalik actor. Or also the guy from, I don't know, from Superbad, the McLovin.
No.
Maybe he also will be a perfect fit for the role. I don't know why. I just love it. But yeah, distractions for this meeting. Well, I'm a bit tired. I haven't slept that much today because of the Aragon hackathon that ended actually today. And topics for this meeting, I would like to check out the results of the demo and talk about the things that didn't quite went well. And yeah, I think that's all. I'll pass it to who's left. Delightful. Oh, Sam. Oh, I don't know. Whatever, whoever wants to go first.
You go. Delightful.
Yeah, go ahead, Delightful.
You're muted. You are still muted.
Oh, sorry, I had a pop up.
Now.
I didn't realize. Hey, everybody. I was thinking Alexander Skarsgård. I don't know if you guys ever watched True Blood, but he was one of the actors in True Blood. So I think he might. I think he might be a good Italy. But in terms of intentions for today, just like last week, I'm just here to really absorb and take it all in and listen and contribute where I can. And in terms of distractions, I think I had a little bit of a COVID scare, so I'm waiting to hear back and see if I have COVID. Actually, just got a test done today, so waiting to hear back about that. So I'm a little distracted in that regard, waiting to hear back from that. But otherwise, trying to be present.
Okay, so I am the last. Do you know that actor from Alone in the House? The kid?
Yes, Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay
Yes.
Culkin. Yeah.
I don't know if it's that, but there is a kid that has this kind of, maybe that one.
Uh-huh.
And probably now he's very old, but whatever.
Epic comeback.
I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
His brother's on a very popular cable show
Yeah,
here in the States right now.
Succession. He's
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
But Macaulay Culkin, as like the right age for Macaulay Culkin, would be amazing.
Yeah. I also just looked up the brother of Alexander Skarsgård. He is called Bill Skarsgård, and he's. I think he would work also good.
Mm-hmm.
He was the clown, right? In the
Yes, exactly.
remake.
Yeah, he played the clown in It. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
And intentions, I would like to share which is the state now and ask for advice what we should do. With the probably everything is restored. We have to do an extra vote, but I don't want to mess up, so I would prefer not to launch it now and wait to test it properly instead of messing it up again and have to repeat the process again. So because I did not detect which is the problem that affected the bonding curve, so it's like, or I committed an error with the different amounts of everything was doubled. So maybe for some reason something went wrong and we ended up with a 19% of reserve ratio. because now it's giving the correct number, or it's giving the correct number now, but when the vote is executed and the initial buy is made, for some reason the reserve ratio changes, which will not have any sense. So maybe it was something that happened and it's not going to happen. If we review the reserve ratio before sending the vote, which is something that I had to do before. So clearly this was the mistake on the second vote, that I had to review which was the reserve ratio that we were adding to it. But yeah, there is one last vote that must be done before we open the bonding curve again, and it will take 2 days. So I don't know which is the best moment. Maybe Thursday to open it.
Any moment, whenever, as soon as it's ready, because it's got a much less quorum and it's okay.
Okay. This is the only thing I think that is in relation to the demo. There were other minor things, such as the amount of the amount of collateral that you have to put in order to challenge and create a proposal, that it is already corrected. And there was something else that it's also corrected as well. Maybe you
Mhm.
Okay. And it's important also to do depreciate the token. If a majority can mint tokens, or a well organized minority can lead to the minting of tokens, that can just destabilize the we have inflation now.
Yeah. I mean, it would require 88%, right, or whatever. I mean, all of our votes require a pretty high majority, so it'd be pretty easy to get a voice of reason to stop any kind of unnecessary votes. But also, minting extra tokens also is like a guaranteed change the system as well, right? That it's pretty unlikely to need to happen, right?
Okay, but let's. I think that there is a misunderstanding. We are opening the bonding curve and doing this initial vote because it's part of the parameters. This initial buy because it's part of the parameters. Okay. It did not have sense, but because doing this initial vote, doing this initial buy is just moving money from one vault to another and minting tokens. So it was easier for all the parameters to just mint tokens at the very beginning of the DAO, but never again.
Yeah, never again.
But now we are implementing it with buying, okay? Because if not, we will be changing the parameters and it will be a mess.
Yeah.
So we are buying and we are moving funds from the common pool to the reserve, and we are creating tokens that goes to the vault that it's buying them, which is the common pool. We want those tokens to go to the laser tag multisig, or it is. I understand that as the discussion went, we have to send them there.
I mean, I think it's fine to mint them to the agent.
Okay.
I also think it's fine to not mint them at all and just have the ability to mint and burn. But I understand also the psychological challenge of being, if we did it once, then that opens the door, right? So.
Yep. I mean, why to have a bonding curve? If we, yeah, I don't know. I
These are philosophical questions, really. Okay, so but we can. I think we can. I think, is there a reason not to mint it to the agent, Zep? Did you have a reason not to?
No, actually, it was just the contrary. Because I think that these tokens were going to be sent to the laser tag multisig. Which is the use of the laser tag multisig if not?
It's true.
I think that it's a discussion to have in another. I mean, in the same forum that the discussion on creating the multisig at the first place was, and maybe now it's something that it's already decided and it's not a big deal to have the this multisig. But at the same time, I question why should it be needed if we already have the agent that can do the same things than the multisig. It's just a question for maybe it's something that was not in the discussion, so I am just adding it.
I,
Yeah.
I think the main reason that we went with having a separate multisig is more because it's almost like a proposal from a small group, from a community, to say we will govern this for this DAO. And usually for this DAO, for funding decisions, it's supposed to go through conviction voting. So having like a DAO voting funding like votes, because like if the laser tag multisig gets that much money, then that's like a lot more than what conviction voting should be able to can really manage. And so we were just going to use snapshot vote instead of DAO voting.
Okay. So because we have this mechanism that we can buy for somebody else, we will be use it. We will use it. The common pool.
Nice.
Yeah, we can do that.
That's cool.
Like the buy proxy.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I also just think this is kind of like, you know, it's dealer's choice, Sam, and I think you can just simply decide, because it's such a edge case fallback solution, you know, that is not likely to even need to be used. So it's like, do we put, how much is it? Like 400 tokens or something?
I am not following.
Like, how many tokens are being minted for either the agent or the multisig?
Okay, no.
No. I mean more for the this fallback plan where we have to have mint extra TEC just in case the
They are different things.
deployer loses their keys in that like 10-minute window. In that one small edge case, we have to mint some TEC. And how many TEC do we have to mint?
For 10 proposals, which will be $4,000 in TC.
$4,000 for 10 proposals? Why do we need 10 proposals?
You never know.
Okay, so $4,000 in TEC. Considering that it's a $1.5 million economy, I mean, if that goes to the laser tag multisig or it goes to you know, an agent, I think it's relatively irrelevant.
Okay. Probably we are not understanding everything.
Okay.
What Septi was saying is that we are buying $250,000. It's a lot of money in TSC, and it is going to a multisig. These are the tokens that we do that with the buy proxy.
Mm-hmm.
We were not talking about these initial tokens.
Oh, okay. It's not going to be smooth, but it could be done. I think at this point though, second guessing our community decisions is not very useful. I mean, it's not. It's like whether it could be done better or in a different way. Sure, it could be. Bitcoin could have 15-minute block times, or it could have 5-minute block times. It's like, okay, well, here we are. It has 10 minutes. Let's move on.
Okay. One of the things I did not mention at the beginning. I don't know which topics do we have to talk about today. I have an extra one.
I think the agenda is really in your hands on this one, Sam.
Okay. Maybe we have to start talking about finishing Commons Swarm and which is the way in which we can. One of the problems that we have is that the launch of this is in many months from now. I was expecting to do some kind of party in like 3 weeks from now or something like that, but it's not. It's something that it's. What are we going to do during all these weeks? Maybe we have to pause during some weeks and then we do a final party or something.
Yeah, I mean, take a break over Christmas.
Yeah. And the last things that we need to do, I mean, we have to complete the demo that we are in the middle of. And I'm really sorry for that. I thought that I had everything fine and I didn't do the last check and it was a mess. But it's all reverted. It never happened.
It never happened. It's not even on the website anymore. You can't even see it. Challenge was accepted. We tested Celeste. That's good. I guess not Celeste, but the challenging feature.
No, there was something else. The bonding curve was opened and then closed.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you saw that. No, it also happened, but it is closed now.
That's good.
We have had many problems with the demo. It has not been a clean one, but still, we go back and go back and go back, and now we are finally opening it, and everything is with all the changes. We are in the correct place, and I guess finishing this demo, finishing the article on the IBM CRISPR, give a final forum post on the OneHive channel, and when the parameters are ready, do a dress rehearsal and launch. These are the things that we need to do.
Yeah.
And I hope that the dress rehearsal is not as accidental as we had this time. We had a double of money than we expected.
I mean, if we could launch with that would be cool.
It was test die. It was not real die.
Well, can we just do it that way one more time with wrapped X die though? Just saying. When the common pool said it had $2 million in it, I thought we were golden. Let's launch tomorrow.
We'll work on that feature, Griff.
Thank you. See, Paulo's got the right attitude.
Okay, and in order to so how much more times do we met again? I think that we should talk about this celebration party day that we deserve. And it has been more than 1 year, and
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that, really.
How to do a party or how to go? Uh,
How to do a party
in Discord?
in Discord? I don't know. There have been a lot of people in the swarm that it will be nice to see them again if they can come. Um,
I mean, I can facilitate a party. If we just get a doodle going, invite it to all the people, and then we pass it around and it's like everyone tell one story about the Commons Swarm, or something like that. And it's like BYOB, bring your own drinks, and we laugh and
okay,
then maybe,
you know
maybe
how to party.
We could play. I know a few like games. There's games that streamers play on Twitch with their audience that would work for us. Gartic Phone is one. If you ever heard of that, it's like telephone Pictionary. Okay. Okay. Perfect. I think we got
Okay, now we're talking.
it.
And yeah, and other board games like we had to talk about diplomacy, Bradley.
Yes, we do. We do for sure.
Okay. When?
Let's talk about that out of the swarm.
Okay.
Message me after.
No, I am talking about the party of the swarm.
Oh, the party. Did we just say the first week of January after Christmas at least?
So the launch probably won't happen until mid-January.
Oh, well then.
I think we were going to wait until after to do the voting well after there's your holidays in Europe around the 6th of January.
Oh, right.
So we're just going to skip the holiday season, as they call it, and do the votes right after that. I think it's like the 7th to the 13th or something like that. And so then we do the dress rehearsal demo with the parameters set, make sure everything looks right, and then do the real launch.
Okay, let's try not to mix the party and the rehearsal.
Oh, you want to do the party before it's done? I mean, we could.
Yeah, how do we
Usually
do
you
that?
party after.
It's like a funeral before the guy's dead.
Okay. Yeah, but
Maybe we can do two parties, one after and one before.
I don't know, guys. Yet.
So
Let's have this. Yeah.
as far as party is concerned, I'll work on that. I can get the scheduling going, stuff like that, and make sure that we have a good Discord party agenda going. So,
I like the idea.
okay,
I like the.
and I'll plan for that to be sometime mid-January, and we'll anchor down an actual date and time when we get close.
maybe we can do that the same week that the launch is done, and that's it. Also, the launch is going to be along 1 week because we need to vote on the DAO, on the DAO, and then do probably 1 week vote on the opening on the bonding curve. So during this week, which is not after or before, because there is not a one single time for the launch in between.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I think that we can just prepare the party, and it is weird, but guys, there are not so much work.
No. We're almost done.
Oh, so close. We're very, very close.
Okay, so we covered the party. We covered what went wrong with the demo, for the most part. We covered the minting of tokens into the agent versus the multi-sig. I'm sorry for being so confused about which tokens we were talking about minting. And then, do you have any other topics, Sem? I have the one that we were discussing in the DM, the Bright DAO DM.
Which one?
The fact that the parameters seem a little bit off on the UI of conviction voting.
Okay. If as much as it is in the UI, it is not a problem. I mean, the UI is just you can consider it as an estimation. Actually, for the time that it requires, you are doing a division of different logarithms. It's all an estimation, and this should be taken as a different project to solve this, or to improve conviction voting, which is a project that I would like to take, do conviction voting version 2, but this is not part of the TC, or it's more like something that we can do. I don't know. It's more something of gardens, and I don't know when it's better to fix it. If it is, I don't think that it's a real problem.
Well, okay, so like the challenge I have is like, is this 5.98%? Is this wrong?
Let me see.
Or like, is this because like, okay, so this is the Giveth Garden, right? And it's set to have a minimum spending limit of, it's set to have a minimum conviction of 6%. So given that minimum conviction of 6%, it's saying that it needs 5.98%, but that's less than 6%. So that shouldn't be possible. But not only that, then I put in exactly 6% or exactly as many. This is a different issue. But then I put in exactly as many tokens as was asking for. And now you can see that the bar is like way past the line.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess my question is this a problem with the UI, or is this a problem with the way that we're putting the parameters in? Or is it a problem with the smart contract? Or where is the problem?
Where is the problem? Yeah. The smart contract, I would say no. The only thing that could be a problem with the smart contract is that there is a transformation of parameters in two places. One is for the minimum threshold, and the other is for the half-life or the conviction growth. So the exactly the maximum amount of conviction, I don't know which is the name now, the what we used to call beta, this is exactly the same in the smart contract and in the parameters.
Spending limit?
The spending limit is going to be always correct, and if we have a problem, it's with transforming the mean threshold, mean conviction,
Minimum
into
conviction.
what we call in the smart contract weight. But it's probably not a problem, and the problem is in the UI. I can double check it to make sure that the parameters are transmitted exactly as they are in the smart contract, and this is the most important.
Yes, totally. Yeah, and that's because we had this problem sort of with the last dashboard too, where it was like, oh yeah, okay, well you think you're gonna get this, well if we don't, then we had to the solution was scale impact hours, and give everyone a little less impact hours to make everything work to match, and so I imagine that we will need to do something slightly similar. I don't know what it will be or what the problem will be with the dashboard results versus like how we would expect to get those results,
But I think that the dashboard is not wrong with the smart contract. It's not going to be inconsistent. What is inconsistent all the time is the UI.
Well, in this case, we put in a 6% minimum conviction. No, 6%. Yeah, minimum conviction. And you think this is just a UI bug that it's saying that because
okay, yeah.
I don't think
very close to 6%. That's my point.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the most close to 5% to 6% that you can get because you are doing this transformation in the minimum conviction to the weight and the weight into the mean conviction again. It's a good approximation. There is a bigger problem, which is this other
this line.
This line is, I think, in the correct place, but the amount that you are adding is more than the one that you needed. There is a number there that when it is asking you for adding a lot of tokens, I think that this is the one that it's problematic.
Okay, so it's really that number.
Yeah. You are right now adding more tokens than the required ones, and when it says the required ones are that amount, it's a kind of estimate that it's not giving you the good numbers. Maybe because it does not take into account the effective supply, but I am not sure because the code that was doing these calculations was old, and I did not keep track on the different adaptations of that. But if you put exactly the amount of tokens that will go into this line,
yeah, I'll try it because we can get pretty close, and I'll test it.
And you also can calculate what is 6% of the tokens, and
yeah, exactly.
and see how everything fits.
Oh no. Ah.
You can request for one, and that will give you, or even zero, probably you can request. But let's go with
I'll
one.
just do one.
And it will give you 6%, which is going to be a little bit less because of this precision that is lost. And this is something that it's how it is. But the other one, it's clearly something that is not calculated properly.
Okay, so total support is this amount, supposedly.
With more
Is this-
decimals, but I think that it's going to be okay with that.
So that times 0.06 is 13,331. So it's saying 13,224, which is even less.
It is. Yeah, you cannot trust this number. I think it is. It is approximately.
Okay, so
I mean, it was correct at the moment some time ago, but it looks like it's way off now.
yeah,
But
I
if
mean,
you add
it's off
this,
by 100 tokens. It's not so crazy, but it shouldn't be able to pass if I put that much in.
also there is something else that maybe we are not taking into account. It is a weird effect that it is difficult to understand at the beginning. The effect of the minimum effective supply. Actually, it's not affecting here, right? Because you are.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
It is on the line.
It is just below the line, so that's good. This percentage is still a little goofy, but that's okay. And this number, I put in exactly what I was asking for. Now it's saying I need 700 more. That's pretty funny. But I can do the math again and just see. Oh, it's because somehow my tokens added to the total support, maybe?
Yes,
Because now
yes,
I have a different
yes.
amount.
This is It is an effect that it is very bad. This fourth parameter is changing the conviction all the time, and it should not exist. This fourth parameter should not exist, and I'd
Which
like
fourth
to
one?
the minimum effective this advanced one that
Yeah.
we did not want to talk about in the config dashboard, and it was a good idea, and still it changes conviction when it should be changing the threshold. The
It
problem is that
changes.
it is changing conviction.
Really?
It is changing the way conviction is calculated. So it's you need an extra graph to explain the interactions that it creates with the rest of the proposals. It's a bad one. It's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Okay, so that's actually affecting the conviction. So then potentially so this says 900.
Because you are adding new tokens, your conviction is less. Yeah.
So this says I need to add 900, but then I'll probably even need to add a little bit more. Let's see what happens. But the thing is, I shouldn't be adding new. It's weird that I'm adding new tokens because I do have tokens staked on another proposal that's just out of like that's past its prime.
Yeah,
You know?
if you were no because no, I think that if because they are if you, I'm not sure. I think that the past ones are not counting as abstain, or they should not, and only
They
the ones that
don't.
you.
The
If a
past
proposal
ones
has
don't
passed,
count as abstain.
I'm not sure about that. If a proposal has passed, I'm not sure if that counts as abstain. Maybe not.
Oh, interesting. And also, when you
I'm not sure
change,
about that.
and also so I just went to change support, and then it like, and I wanted to add 900, but instead it just changed my support to 900. That's my bad.
Hmm.
Interesting user experience for sure.
I don't like it at all. I think that if you are
In a
adding new
dream-
conviction, if you are adding new tokens, makes the conviction of every proposal, including yours, more difficult to get conviction. It's a bad way to do calculations.
Yeah. In a dream world, this should be a cart, you know? And all of the proposals that you're supporting should be on there. Anytime you're changing your vote, you should be able to see all of the proposals that you're supporting. And it should just be percentages of weight. And it's like,
Yeah,
oh, change my vote. And then like
it is not only that. It is not only the interface. It's the way conviction is calculated. It should be calculated always the same way. And this is why everything else is messed up with, because now it's going to pass in 2 months.
yeah. Which
nothing
makes
else
more
changes.
sense. That's what it should do. That's what it should do. That makes sense. This still bugs me honestly, but I guess we can live without it.
Yeah, actually it's a little bit worse, because there is two maximums. One is the asymptote that you are selecting, and the other is the real maximum that you can request, which is never going to be the asymptote because it will ask for infinite, but you can only ask for 100%. So there is another maximum way. You are saying, okay, I will get 20%, but it's not 20%. It's maybe 14% or 15%. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is like 11%, but really looks like the maximum is more like 9.
Yeah, very bad as well. But it was difficult to change both spending limit and minimum conviction.
Yeah. So, are there any action steps on this stuff? Like, is there something that we need to check? Or, I mean, it actually looks okay to me now. Like, at least now I understand what you were saying. Like, no, we don't have to change anything. This is conviction voting UI. It's not like, okay.
Yeah, if you want probably better numbers, you should set up the minimum effective supply to 0 or to 1,000. Or excuse me, or 100. One of those two numbers will not affect how conviction is calculated.
So that would be really interesting if we could figure that out. If we could get like what we should default, because I guess we need minimum conviction to some. We don't really need it, right? Like we can live without it. people could vote. We could get people to vote before we actually put money in the pool.
If you don't want it, if you are going to select a minimum amount of near 6%, then the minimum conviction, the minimum effective supply should not be 5% because it's going to affect in one way or another.
If the minimum effective supply percent is 1%, is that going to be fine?
If they are close to each other, the minimum conviction and the minimum effective supply, and there is only, actually it is happening because only one person is voting. If people have the conviction in the abstain proposal, it is not happening. And you can also set up a high minimum effective supply that should not. That just makes things difficult for everyone, and that's it.
Yeah, see, I added that and now it won't pass. That's great. Okay. So, but there's no action steps on this. Maybe we figure out a new default for minimum effective supply.
I will test some of them and see which is not making things too difficult to pass, because it's maybe I can. It's late.
Right now, the default is 1%. So if 1% works for whatever final parameters are set, like we can lay this as an issue that we bring up when we have the final parameters.
Okay.
At least in 2 weeks when we have the final 4 sets of parameters.
Is the most complete demonstration of how everything works in the most technical way is the simulation, is the collab.
Totally.
It has the parameters in Solidity. It has the 3 graphics. You can compare. I think that it is the most accurate one.
Okay, cool.
No, not this one. The collab I sent to the group. The one that was used later for doing the config dashboard. Not exactly the same, but it is in the Right ID group, and it may also be in many other chats. It's an old one.
Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. Well, we're at the top of the hour. Was there anything that I guess this week we're just going to try to get this demo fixed and open the bonding curve and get some more user testing?
No, we have to make sure that this time it's getting the right result ratio, which is, it looks like it's now, but I will do the forward testing and then create the vote.
Cool.